What's up, Star Wars fans? John of Video Games and the World. As you all know, today marks the 10th anniversary of the Star Wars Episode VII: The Force Awakens. Like I said in my video essay uploaded on Monday, I still remember watching the teaser the day after Thanksgiving. I remember how excited I was when I saw the flying of the Millennium Falcon in the teaser trailer of this movie, and I still remember being part of the hype of fans eager to see this brand new adventure. The Force Awakens was the first Star Wars movie in a decade since Revenge of the Sith, and it was the first chapter of the sequel trilogy. This movie, as you all know, is the first movie of the sequel trilogy, which introduced new characters in a brand new adventure and also brought back old and familiar faces like Han Solo, Leia Organa, Chewie, 3PO, and of course, Luke Skywalker. And we all know the story taking place 30 years after the Battle of Endor in Return of the Jedi, and a new tyrannical regime known as the First Order has taken over the galaxy, and the Resistance, led by Leia Organa, is fighting against it. Days before the movie premiered, I started watching every movie of the original and prequel trilogies in order to get ready for the big day. I also did the same when The Last Jedi was going to premiere and when Rise of Skywalker was going to premiere as well. I still remember being happy after watching the movie, and of course, a lot of people walked out happy and eager for some more after leaving the movie theater. A month later, I still remember the teaser for Rogue One, which I admittedly love more than the sequel trilogy, to be honest, as it felt more like a Star Wars movie. However, some fans who grew up with the original and sequel trilogies went to see the movie and were skeptical after leaving the movie theater, wondering if this brand new trilogy was going to be a massive success. Those that were skeptical after watching it were skeptical when they saw the teaser back in 2014 as well. Regarding this movie, some people love it with all of their hearts, others hate it to the core. Of course, there are haters of the movie who felt that the movie was a repetition of A New Order with a modern twist, and the hatred would get even worse with The Last Jedi, which polarized and divided the fandom. And I gotta say, we all agree that Rise of Skywalker was the black sheep of the trilogy. There are people who hate the sequel trilogy, but at least do not go to YouTube and social media pages to cry and rant on how J.J. Abrams, Rian Johnson, and Kathleen Kennedy ruined their childhoods and just moved on. I can get along with that. Why? Because they didn't go to extremes. What I'm about to say is going to put a target on my back. There are people who hate it to the core and go to extremes about it. They continue to rant on how J.J. Abrams, Kathleen Kennedy, and Rian Johnson ruined the sequel trilogy, calling it woke propaganda, feminist propaganda, too political, yet a lot of people continue to debunk these extreme haters that Star Wars was always political and feminist. Now, you might be asking if my feelings about The Force Awakens have changed. Well, they're still the same. Sure, there are many things I felt repetitive of A New Hope, but you cannot deny that it has good moments as well. I don't want only to focus on the negatives, but also try to see the positives as well. There are many moments of this movie that I enjoyed, such as when Han and Chewie entered the Millennium Falcon after Rey and Finn took it from Jakku. When Han and Chewie entered, everyone cheered loudly when Han said, "Chewie, we're home." And that is exactly what we all felt. We were right back home, back to a universe that we all love with all our hearts. Other scenes I enjoyed were the escaping from Jakku, the Battle of Takodana, the Battle of Starkiller Base, seeing Leia again, Finn fighting Kylo Ren, and of course, the conclusion. When Rey saw Luke, I still remember wanting more when the movie ended. Then The Last Jedi premiered, and when Luke takes a lightsaber, we all know how that goes. People made many theories about Rey wondering if she was the daughter of Obi-Wan Kenobi or another Jedi Master. But in The Last Jedi, we learned that she is a nobody, and the reactions to that, of course, we all know how that goes. Now, I like the characters, and I will admit that I wish that they did better with Finn. Still, I like his First Order Stormtrooper turned Rebel storyline. Some people will say that in a few years, the sequel trilogy will be celebrated as much as the prequels. As they say, tomorrow never knows. Now, when the sequel trilogy premiered, the prequels were not as loved and appreciated as they are now. You cannot deny that The Force Awakens brought fans old and new together when it premiered and made over $2 billion worldwide. Now, we barely got to see the New Republic in this movie because it was destroyed by the Starkiller Base. A lot of people up to this day feel that Rian Johnson butchered the Star Wars franchise with The Last Jedi because of taking the franchise in a new direction by subverting expectations. Still, I have learned to appreciate Rey being a nobody, showing that anyone can be a hero, learning that failure teaches more than success, and killing the past will solve nothing. Learning from the past and learning from your mistakes can inspire you to do so much better than before. The sequel trilogy may have its issues indeed, but it has its good moments as well. As I wrap up this video, if you love the sequel trilogy, okay. If you didn't like the sequel trilogy, that's okay as well. But whether you liked it or hated, don't be a jerk to other people just because they liked it or hated it. And that's all I gotta say. I'm John of Video Games in the World. I'll be back this Saturday with the weekly news. Happy holidays, and may the Force be with you.